What's your name? What's your name? Zayla? Ooh, that's different.
$100. That's 3 months of groceries. $2,100. That's the
Was it so? Pussy up, big. Big pussy. Bitch. Y'all niggas. And Oh, that's
Hey, everybody. This is Big Jeff coming to you from No Days Off Radio Show with the number one show in the land, Nothing But The Truth. Hope everybody had a good Friday today. Went to work and progressed and, made something happen. And everybody that, work from home, everybody that's working, on their own, everybody had a really enjoyous day and a prosperous day, and you got something accomplished. So go enjoy your weekend. You know, love on your families. Love on the people that's around you. Love on the people that's for you. All right. Hopefully, things will get better in the long run. We got a lot of things going on in society and in life. So, everybody's kind of like on pins and needles. So for everybody who's lost a loved one this week, you have our sympathy, and our condolences goes out to those families who are going through celebration of life with loved one that was lost this week. Today's show, Shanita will be joining us shortly. So she is en route. Shanita has a job, and sometimes her hours change, this, that, and third. So she will be here, shortly, or she will join in on the phone. All right. So today's show is when justice becomes a process, justice or just a plea. All right. Today's show, the topic is when justice becomes a process, justice or just a plea. All right. And that's, it really speaks for itself. It really speaks for itself. And we got a lot of things that we can relate to with that. Hey, so we got a call on the phone, that's coming to join in on the show and give us some insight that this show actually fits this situation. You know what I'm saying? So we got we got Shay and we got Umfunk on the line, and they're going to join the show today, and they're gonna speak on the topic of the show today. The topic of the show today is when justice when justice become a process. When justice become a process, justice or just a plea is the topic of the show today. So we're gonna let them introduce themselves, and we'll start the show. All right, Shay, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, Pop.
Hey,
I'm Shay.
what's going on? All right, and they gonna join the show. She's the spokesperson for Umfunk. All right, so it normally speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? And Umfunk is one of the people who we really can dedicate this show to today. You know what I'm saying? Because he has went through this situation of being a process of justice, you know, and wasn't supposed to be in that situation. He had no reason being in the situation that he was put in. You know what I'm saying? Because of his choice in life as a artist. And a lot of you all know who Umfunk is, and he'll be seeing us shortly, hopefully. He'll be seeing us shortly, and we're not gonna put hope on it. It's for sure. All right. So Shay, you
Yes,
wanna speak on the topic of the show, which is
yes.
when
Repeat.
justice becomes a process, justice or just a plea? What you think about
Justice
that?
is a process. I would say not just for the person who's being affected by the justice, but the family, the friends, the loved ones. Everyone is being affected when it comes to justice. You have to realize some things either happen for a reason or no reason. And sometimes, with that being said, mentally you have to be strong with dealing with that process, but you also have to fight. You can't stop fighting. You can't give up. You got to keep going and keep fighting.
That's it. That's it. And that's basically the main issue of these situations. You know what I'm saying? Because to be in a situation to where justice becomes a process of elimination instead of a process of rehabilitation. So people get prosecuted on two different levels. You get prosecuted on a juror form of level, or you get prosecuted on a bench level. But the most successful prosecution for a charge that you get in any court is a plea deal. It's a plea deal.
Yeah.
And the plea deal is a trick that was put in through the system just because they knew that people would be tired of sitting in jail for long periods of time. Some people take a plea because they just are not jail type people. Some people take pleas because they feel like, they don't have a chance in the judicial system to win their cases or to plead their cases.
You also have double jeopardy in some predicaments.
Yeah, definitely. And Onfunk was one of those people who was put in a double jeopardy situation. He was falsely prosecuted. He was falsely accused of being a part of a situation that he had no dealings with whatsoever, had nothing to do with at all. And it goes, his situation became relationship. The people you know, the people you be around. The person that he wound up in a situation with became his brother, because his brother is a successful artist who signed his brother to his label. So the judicial system say, well, okay, we're going to say that he's a gang member too. We're going to put him in a RICO, and he has nothing to do with. So that's part of the process of justice or just a plea. We have to fight. We have to keep fighting. And the process isn't over for the YSL RICO trial. It's still going. The case is still going. But you got how many people, just think of how many people is in this situation that's sitting in a prison somewhere, that could be at home, that could be trying to change their lives or live their lives in a proper manner, as that they was already living it in, some of them. But the system chose to put another stone in front of them, so justice or just a plea. So when an attorney, a district attorney, decides to take a plea deal from someone, that means that they really don't have a way to prosecute them for the crime. But if you're not fortunate enough to have a paid attorney, you're gonna take that plea. You're gonna be stuck in a real bad situation because they know you can't afford to keep fighting. You can't afford it, So that's when justice becomes a process. Because now the process goes from, okay, we're going to offer this, we're going to tell them we'll do this and do that on their behalf. If they do what? Take a plea. Now the process starts. They cook up these cockamamie stories. They cook up these acts. They cook up a whole scenario of what they think happened in your situation. That's an opinion.
That's an opinion, absolutely.
That's an
I
opinion.
agree.
You gonna tell me how I committed a crime? How you think I committed a crime? Do that make it true? Hell no. No, it don't make it true. That means that's your opinion on how you think I committed a crime. So, and then you try to prosecute me with your opinion. We got to make it make sense. How can somebody who knows nothing about me judge me and say, this is how I think you committed your crime? So what am I pleading to? I'm pleading to an opinion that someone has made against me to try to prosecute me. So if I don't go with it, then now this is what starts the plea deal. Remember, it's justice or just a plea. Justice means you're going to do what you got to do and find me guilty of what you're trying to charge me with or what you're trying to prosecute me for. The let out is just take a plea. And the plea comes from you being denied bond, you going through things in jail, not prison, in jail. You going through things in jail, you being held up, you being treated wrong, you going through, mental spasms, the whole 9 yards. So eventually your mindset becomes, hey man, the next time I go to court, whatever they offer me, I'm taking it. Just so I can get it over with. The judicial system knows this. They really know this. If we know it, don't you think they know it? They know it. So, you're gonna either have 6 in one hand and a dozen in the other hand, or you're gonna shit or get out the pot. Either way, they're gonna try to beat you with it. They try to beat you mentally. A lot of pleas that people have taken over the years, and this is not just now, I'm saying throughout a lifetime.
Yeah, people been taking pleas.
Thank you.
But it's just now, we have social media with opinions, but people been some of your biggest, kingpins that took pleas.
That's right.
A lot. Plea deals, you take a plea when you plea out to a ticket, a speeding ticket. You want to get it over with, or either you want to pay it, or you don't want points on your license. That's an example.
And that's the justice becoming a plea deal. Okay, you don't want points on your license. If you plead this or you say this or do that, guess what? You don't get points off your license. So guess what you're gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna do that. And you can be innocent.
You admit what you did,
not
nobody else. What you did on the ticket.
And you can be innocent as hell. I was asked in court last year because I took a traffic ticket and I told the judge that I wanted to bound it over to county court. And they asked me, you wanna take a traffic ticket to trial? Yeah, I do. I do. I really do. Because I feel like I was picked to harass. So sometimes we just have to do what we got to do, man. They put the scale tactic there, we got to put one back. They put a fork in the meat, we got to put a knife in the meat. May the best man win. So sometimes you have to fight justice to avoid prosecution. And and Umfun is one of those people who has the best opportunity to fight prosecution because he was wrong. He was falsely accused. He was wrongly convicted. He was forced to take a plea. Everything that happened to him, it was forced. And it was because the system knew that if we deny these kids bonds for a long period of time, they're going to start pleading out. So this is how we'll win this case, by plea deals. They know this. This is how the system is projected to do you. If you got district attorneys, if you got judges, if you got other people in other places in the court system that joins this team, that create this team to say, okay, this is what our main goal is going to be. And everybody's on the same page, you're going to be forced to do that. You're going to be forced. They make you skip the process and go right into a plea. You know, and they make you these offers in order to solidify the deal. I'm gonna throw away a murder case if you take a gang charge. Who do that? I'm gonna throw away a armed robbery charge if you take a gang charge. Really? So what about so that means you don't give a damn about these families that you so-called yourself represent to get justice for their loved ones that's been hurt in these situations just to take a gang charge? A man got 15 charges. You say if you take a gang charge, we'll dismiss the 15 charge, the other 14 charges. The process. That's the process. That's not justice. That's justice becoming a process. We got to make it make sense. You have to make it make sense. You got people, you know, we hear these people, these same people in the judicial system and the correctional institutions that says, okay, we trying to see how we can minimize the jails being overcrowded, the prisons being overcrowded, you know, and we trying to figure out a way that we can do this and make it a easy process, this, that, and the other. And then it comes time for a man to be released from prison or from jail, and you hold him up. For what?
For what?
For what? You know, that's part of solving the problem. If they supposed to go home, send them goddamn home.
Yes.
If they supposed to make bond, let them make bond. Get them out the jail. A man shouldn't make bond on Monday and don't get out of jail until Wednesday. That's pathetic. You know what can happen between Monday and Wednesday? When we saying that these people are being held in a jail that the doors can't lock. They got people in the jail that they're having issues with. They got people in the jail who has connection with the COs that can get them in another dorm or can get them released out of their room to go into another inmate's room. Hey man, you can't solve the problem by keeping them there extra 2 or 3 days. If a man's supposed to go home today, send his ass home, regardless of what. I wouldn't care if you had to stay and work overtime. We're going to get him out of here today. That's the way the process should be. Not all counties do that. You know, it's not that bad of a process that somebody can make. You know, everybody talk on the internet now. Who can't send an email somewhere and say, okay, release this inmate right here? You can release him today. Not tomorrow, not Sunday, not Monday, not today. Who can't do that? It's just a call. Who can't pick up the phone and make that call? Who can't send an email and make that happen? What's the purpose of having all this easy access shit if we not using it on nothing but certain things? You know, why ask a person for an email when you gonna use it when you get ready? That don't make sense. We gotta make it make sense. There's no telling how many people who are sitting in a jail or a prison institution that's able to go home and they're being slowed down on going home because of a process, and the process is not justice. You can't even justify it. But you'll tell me when I come before a judge that, you know, you could have emailed, you could have sent us a text, you could have called, this line or that line, you could have came down. Why that shit don't go for them too? It should go for them more so than anybody, because you all control the paperwork. So, you know, we gotta start protesting the right things. Let's protest them dragging their damn feet on releasing prisoners that's supposed to been at home. What's the purpose? You know, why isn't this inmate being released? You know, everybody has done their job but the prison or the jail. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You see it in the email, what's the hold up? All it takes is an answer. It don't take nothing but an answer. We received the email, the prisoner is being released. Simple. Simple. You know, so we just got to make the system do better, and we make it do better by attending these meetings, these city meetings, these county meetings, these neighborhood meetings that they have for your neighborhood, for your zone, for your district, the whole nine. We got to go to these meetings and voice these opinions.
And vote.
Or both.
And vote.
Voting ain't shit in Georgia no more. You know, we might as well face that. Voting ain't hitting on nothing in Georgia no more. You know, everybody can cheat the ballot. You know, I remember me doing a show right after I voted. I had a show right after I voted. And I said in the show that I went and voted for the first time in my life. And it was pitiful to me. It was pitiful to me because it's unfair. It's unfair because how can I vote for the people I want to vote for when if I put that I'm a Democrat in the voting machine, it's just gonna show me all the Democrat people that's running for office. What if I want to vote for a Republican in another office? But I can't go to the Republican ballot. Shit, what if fairness at in that? You know, you don't know who all is running for these positions because the only person that has on the ballot is the person that's a Democrat that's running. It might be one Democrat and 3 Republicans, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, so the ballots are unfair to me. If somebody running for mayor, if it's 10 people running for mayor, I don't give a damn if you pick Democrat, Republican, or other. All 10 of those people need to be on that ballot. You know, because that's just our identification as a Democrat or a Republican or other. That's just identifying us. That shouldn't have nothing to do with the people who are running for office. You know, when we look at it on TV during the voting exercise, you'll see Democrat Keisha Land Bottom, Republican George Bush. Okay, if you can show it to me on TV like that, why it can't be on the ballot the same way? We got to make it make sense. Now people can choose because you can see names to choose from. That's part of ballots. The ballots are part of the process. That's when justice become the process. Because now look what we're going through. If we had the ballots the right way, we wouldn't have to go through all that. We wouldn't have to do all this different type of stuff. Because we'll be able to see everybody. Now we got to recount ballots. We got to redo this. We got to redo that. You know, then you got people who they have that's in the ballot offices when you go vote. That's tearing up ballots. That's pulling ballots. Your job is just to make sure people vote and count them damn things. So who's putting that in play to where they destroy ballots? To where they put ballots in certain areas and this, that, and the other, and then they say, well, okay, how in the hell can you have 320,000 ballots that's uncounted for? Make it make sense.
And not holding anyone accountable at all.
You know, I can see if they lose 5 or 2 or 3, or I can see them losing 20, but 300,000? How do you lose 300,000 sheets of paper, man? That's some heavy shit to tote. You know, so it's all game. Propaganda don't care who do it. You know, so we got to do better, and we got to do better as a people. Because what the system has gotten scared of is the fact that in the process, a lot of blacks have came together, and now these folks are scared because if we as a black community come together for the right things, we'll scare the world. Not just where we are. We'll scare the world will be scared. Because we are the only nationality that has the odds. Only. Everybody else, they do what they want to do. Go in a store. Go in a store in your neighborhood. It's ran by a foreigner. And from the time you walk in the damn door to the time you go to the register and go out the door, they are watching you. For real. They are watching you.
Yep.
If they can't see you out on the floor, they got a monitor inside the area that they're in, that they can step back and look up at it and see your ass in the back of the store on that aisle. And it's because every nationality, man, has been told and taught not to trust blacks. You can't trust blacks. And we making that shit look like it's true. Because we're being put in positions to do the harm to each other ourselves. You know, and the first thing some sucker will tell you is, I'm trying to keep my job. Well, go tell on that white boy over there. Go tell on that Mexican. Why you keep telling on all the black folks? Uncle Tom, Willie Lynch's cousin. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then they come in tomorrow and say, we sorry to tell you this, but we're gonna have to let you go. We can't use it no more. And you know, we wish you luck. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Y'all just had me to get rid of all the people that y'all wanted to get rid of, and now since y'all don't need me to use me for that no more, y'all find me.
I think every job have that too.
Hey man, we live in a right-to-fight state. We got to be the stupidest people in the world. And it's all because we are made to be fearful of a job. You know, we won't allow a union to come in a job. It's for us. But we'll let these folks talk us into not allowing the union to come in the job. Let's vote the union out. Why? It's for your benefit. And as soon as they get everybody to agree to it, the next thing they do is go to calling your ass in office, getting your pink slips. And it be just about everybody who decide who was going to join the union. We got to make it make sense. And the first thing they hit you with is, well, we already right to fire your state. We can fire you for anything, and they got to tell you what it's about.
But yeah, don't let them pull those laws out, those so-called laws out.
Hey man, we got rid of it, in the justice becoming a process. We got to get rid of Confederacy. I don't give a damn about a statue. I don't give a damn about a flag. Let's do away with what's important. Them Confederate ass laws we still living under.
Right.
We still being prosecuted under. Let's fight to get rid of that. Let's fight for them to do new laws. Okay, if you bringing us up to par, if you bringing us up to today's society, why the laws are still 150 years behind? Let's come up with the new laws for this type of society. So I'm tired of sitting in a courtroom listening to people try to, prosecute people with justice and use the process of, Roe and Wade did, this ain't Roe and Wade shit no more.
Well, that's because the laws do have to be updated.
Let's update the law and call it Sarah and John. Any damn thing.
Right.
And give it a definition.
It's definitely time for a change.
So we gotta stop that. Because the plea in that be, okay, what we'll do then, we'll just take abortion out. Now nobody has the right to get an abortion. Who said that? Who said that? You don't want to give them welfare. You don't want to give the mother's help. You don't want to give the mother support. But you'll ask that mother, where's the children daddy? So if we give you these benefits, we're gonna put his ass on child support. Really?
Put them on support. Yep.
Really?
On
Really?
Section 8.
So we are not going to win that fight unless we stand together. We gotta stand together, man. That's the only way we're gonna get the real justice. Certain cities you go to, they wouldn't dare do a lot of things that they do to you right here in the state of Georgia, in the city of Atlanta, Fulton County. They would never do it in another city, in another state. Because the other states are ran by the people. We're not ran by the people of Georgia. Everybody can come and be successful in Georgia, but a true Georgian. And that shit's sad. It's sad. It's sad. You raise your children to become adults, to become products of society, and hope that they can go out in society and become leaders, people of integrity, people who are trying to make something out of their lives, and the color of their skins make the difference. Really. And then you wonder why they take to crime? You don't leave them no choice. You don't leave them a choice. Your child graduates from high school with honors and tries to go to a college, and they say, well, we're not accepting this kind of grant. We're not accepting this kind of donation from a non-profit that gave you a scholarship to go, to use. And they said, well, we don't accept that money right there. What the hell wrong with it? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this scholarship? It's a scholarship. You stand in the auditorium and hear this principal say, well, you know, this is Jeffrey Williams. He has a scholarship, you know, from Morehouse. He has a scholarship from the jailhouse. He has a scholarship from the Poe House. He has a scholarship, and then they go use the scholarship, and they say, we're going to take those scholarships. How? Why? Give us a reason. It's the process of justice. You shouldn't be denied the right to be educated, because that's basically what they doing. Now you wind up at Atlanta Metropolitan, which I ain't saying nothing wrong with it, but you got enough money and scholarships to go to Princeton if you want to. So what happens to those scholarships? They just fall off. You can't use them. You know, when justice becomes a process, now it's justice or a plea deal. Now your plea deal becomes going to Atlanta Metropolitan. That's your plea. Because you can't get into where you want to go, and you got the scholarship money to do it. You know, the Hope Scholarship, they named that the right thing. Hope. Hope you can use that shit somewhere. You know, it's ridiculous, man. So don't disrespect my child by letting my child walk across the stage and we got the whole arena shouting because this child got 15 grants and can't use them. You can't use them. You know, our kids are the ones who fall behind because of improper leadership, man, and that shit don't come from home.
They always blame it on home, though.
That don't come from home. That come from us allowing these people to chop us off. Because we scared to go through the process, man. You know, we gonna call them. No, we ain't gonna call them, we gonna pull up on their ass. We gonna pull up on them at 7:30 in the morning. We gonna be there when they stick the key in the door to open. And see what happens. Yeah, we expecting to get chomped off. You gonna get chomped off. But you can't let them chomp you off that easy. I make you go in your office and say, damn, he a piss. So am. I damn so am for mine. I'm still trying to get my 40 acres in my mule. And my mamas, my daddies, my grandmamas, everybody's. You owe us that. You owe us that. We never received it. So I know the system tired of me. And they showing me, but I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting, man. You know, and Shanita has made me one of the most, I'm a ridiculous activist. Nobody want to see Big Jeff pull up. Everything changed. All the way down to being Crump. He even changed when he see me. Full of shit ass lawyer. He's what we used to call back in the day an ambulance chaser.
We disagree on that. I love being.
He's an ambulance chaser.
I love being y'all.
He's an ambulance chaser. He ain't gonna chase nothing but a case that he can get some money out of. That's it.
Well, he the best.
You know, yeah, he the best. I'm not gonna deny he's the best to get you some money.
Well,
But he ain't gonna get you no justice.
Hey, that's the money is justice
No.
when that's the only thing you can get.
If a man get eaten up,
Hey.
by
Give me
bed
something.
bugs.
If they're not gonna give me the justice, at least give me some money.
But if a man get eaten up by bed bugs, he's
Yeah.
eaten up by bed bugs.
That's crazy. And they wouldn't have got nothing without being.
And the only thing you want to do is give the family some money. That's a pacifier.
And Michael.
Give them some justice.
What do you think justice would be in that situation?
Shut that regular ass jail down.
Oh, heck,
Like
we've
it
been
should've
trying.
been
We want that to happen,
But
definitely.
You can't do it because of the system.
It's the system and the politics.
You can't do it.
And the politics.
The politics. But you see what's happening to the politics, don't you?
What's that?
Ass going down one at a time.
Yeah, that
Because,
is true.
Because see, that's what the white folks do to us. And they ain't scared to say white folks because they're the ones doing it.
Preach.
They do it to us by letting us do it to each other. Let the niggas run the niggas. Hey man, that's top tier. We just gonna push the buttons. We gonna operate them like, we used to have these little things called rock'em sock'em robots when I was young. Hey man, if you keep punching long enough, you gonna hear one of them here say, win. You win. You win. We scared to keep punching. We refuse to keep punching.
Well, back to the subject of
jail.
Yeah, jail, and also
jail.
you do get exhausted, and Tracy can attest to this, of paying attorneys so much money and they're not really working in your favor.
See, if you can get enough people to protest, you don't need an attorney. If you can get enough people to sign petitions, you don't need attorneys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to put in leg work. That's all. Put in leg work. We can have household meetings like everybody else do. The clans have theirs.
That's true, but see, the
We can
thing
have
is,
household meetings.
when people will say what they'll do, but when it gets time to
There you
do
go.
it,
There you go.
they back out, they
that's the
scared, they don't want people knowing they're a part of this group or they're a part of that group. So it's hard to get a collective amount of people together to make a difference in certain situations.
And you're right. But that don't mean we stop pushing.
That's true.
Me and you fought a whole system to where they locked you up.
Sure did.
Wanted to lock me up, just couldn't put no case on me.
They were dying to
'Cause
lock you
I'm
up.
not going for anything. They, and I'm not trying to sound like a bear, but I am in certain things.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make me a believer. You're going to have to make me a believer, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm right, man, I'm going to the door.
Oh, God.
If I'm wrong, we might can negotiate unless I can see me a loophole like y'all do me.
Okay. And like they do their family.
So the geese cannot beat the gander. You can't. We're going to have to be on the same page at all time. All time. And I hate it for whoever try to stick that knife between us. You can't separate us. We're inseparable.
Facts.
It's not gonna happen. So, a lot of people fear me because they know I'm gonna stand on business. No matter what it takes. And the system knows that. I'm gonna stand on business. And I'm not just saying this on this show. I have said this in the courthouse, in the courtroom, to the judge.
Facts.
So, it is what it is. All right, we got some special guests here today.
We
We're
do.
going to welcome them to the show. Shay, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just patiently waiting.
Okay.
You know what I'm waiting on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we got a lot of things going on. So, Shay, if you want to stay on the air, you're welcome to stay on the air. If you want to check out, you can check out. But we wish anybody can come to this show at any time, any day of the week, which is Friday. And we do this show every Friday at 7 o'clock. Everybody has an open invitation to walk in this door and get on this show. You don't have to be invited. You don't. And tell your story. This is why me and Shanita came up with this show, so that people can hear real stories that people are really facing out here in society, man, that's unfair.
Exactly.
So, it doesn't just stop at one person. There's a lot of people going through some things.
It is. And there's different things that people are going through,
And
you know?
people need to hear these stories.
Right.
That's part of us bringing us together as a national native of blacks to try to get some justice. Damn, I like this topic today.
Thanks to Miss Tracy. It was her idea.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Love you.
All right, love you too. Be good. All right.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.
You know, so we're gonna bring everybody in. You know, we let you introduce yourselves to the people. If you want to be introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and you know what you want to talk about. Somebody can sit right here. Y'all sit right now.
All right.
And welcome to the show.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to Nothing But The Truth.
Nothing but the truth.
On the No Days Off production with the #1 show in the land. Nothing But The Truth.
Tracy, you want to come over too? You can come on this side. We got another chair. Okay.
Now she can say, you know, they the host when they come on the show. You become the host on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So sit right here.
No, you sit right here. You the host. I'm gonna sit on that side.
Oh wow. Okay.
Big Jeff.
Miss Tracy.
Big Jeff, how you doing? Hey. Jeff.
I was here with Janet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm in training. I ain't gonna never be like you, but I'm in training.
You what?
I'm training. You know, this is hey, I need to get there. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
Let's go.
You're really good though. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it.
Y'all introduce yourselves, tell them what you're speaking on.
No, I wish I
You know
had
what I'm saying? You know, give them the topic that you're talking about. And let the show roll.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you. This is nice.
The topic of the show, the topic of our show today is when justice becomes a process. Justice for people.
I like this. I think this is super cool. We're going to get some of those. You want one of these? You want one? Sure. It's like the mine. Okay. We're gonna have a conversation about it.
Good job. She got an outline. Miss Trey. Miss Trey got an outline. Is it 2 pages?
Yeah.
Just 2. Okay.
Is that 2 or 2 pages?
Outline.
Oh, it's. Here, we'll look at this one. I do have some more. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Hot mic.
Hot mic.
Hot mic.
Okay.
All right, we ready to go. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Oh, wow.
This is nothing but the truth, man.
It is. Beautiful. Okay, well. Hi, everybody.
Introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Tell them what your topic is and what you want to talk about.
Okay, well, I guess I would go first. So, hello everyone. My name is Dejanay. I am really excited. First, I just want to say thank you for this space because a lot of people are afraid and they have the fear of having these type of conversations, but it takes a different type of person to really be brave enough to speak the truth. And it's so crazy that, you know, the title of the show is Speak the Truth. I am the executive director and founder of We the People Advocate Outreach, where the "duh" is serious, because we are the people. And what we do at our organization is we advocate for families, individuals. We educate people about their rights, and we just really allow a space where wherever you are, we can figure out a way to, help you. So I'm just really excited about. So that's all I got for right now.
I am Miss Trey. I'm an advocate for justice. I also lobby, and I am. This is a conversation that we need to have about the justice in Georgia and the process. And so I'm just here to continue our conversation. Justice or just a plea? And it's a topic that people need to hear, and they need to understand that Georgia actually leads the nation in having the most people on probation. It's almost 400,000 people.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And Alabama has 45,000. And 90%, I'll pick a county, just say Cobb County, 90% of their cases end in plea deals, 95% of their cases end in plea deals. And we need to have a conversation about attorney selections, how the attorneys play a big part in this. Discoveries, manipulated discoveries. I'll just say the system, it's so easy for someone to get arrested, and Georgia is a hearsay state.
There you go.
So it's like, someone can call the police and say, oh, they slapped me. And then the police, they come and they arrest the person, they put them in jail, and it's a nightmare. So
There's no question.
it's no question. And then they cherry pick on who gets bond within 24 hours.
Often what they'll do too, and I do totally agree with you, Tracy, but often what they'll do is thank you. Often what they'll do is, if someone calls and make a false police report, depending on the officer, they can put out a warrant, and then the other person will have a warrant and won't even know that they even have a warrant, right? Have you guys heard of that?
Oh, I've experienced it.
Yeah.
As an advocate, someone made a claim and an allegation that supposedly happened 3 years ago, and just because they called the police and made that call, they put out a warrant for them. And mind you, they were in a whole different state.
Wow.
So they figured out how to find them and look, just ultimately found them, locked them up for about 3 years. And let's talk about the attorneys.
Yes.
Incorrectly filed a trial, a motion to trial, immediate trial. Yes.
Right.
Incorrectly filed it, and then the court's just like, oh, they acknowledge that they incorrectly did that, but you're still holding on to the body.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Right.
So y'all continue to make these let's not say that.
No, it's intentional.
Falsified warrants.
Right.
Falsified warrants.
That's it. Falsified warrants.
Falsified warrants.
Yeah, intentional
Right.
documents to manipulate the system into where it isn't effective, and you allow them to sit there and challenge their mental health to where it just disintegrates and disintegrates and disintegrates to where they feel hopeless.
To do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And also leading back to Big Jeff's original topic, they sometimes are forced to take a plea because now you got this fake warrant. You're being arrested. You didn't have money saved up for an attorney. You're incarcerated.
And the attorney is inviting for it.
You didn't even have due process to answer this falsified warrant.
Denied due process.
Right.
That is literally it, because the same case that I'm referring to, the attorney that they put on his record and file, he kept saying not guilty from the beginning, and they kept trying to get him to file into a plea, but the lawyer himself, the attorney himself, previously, because we fired that one, because I made sure he fired the other one, so we fired that one, and so they kept saying that it was a weak case itself. So you have a weak case, you know that it's weak, but you're allowing him to stay in it for almost 2.5, 3 years and not really getting anywhere.
Because that's when the Willie Lynch syndrome it kicks in then. And when I say that, I mean, you know, you got what they call the house niggas. Okay, we gonna let them handle them. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes to where now, for one thing, we get paid for you being in jail.
Correct.
All right. We get paid 2 times for you being in jail every day. Every day they get a check for you twice. All right. That's why when people go to jail, they keep you in there for a certain amount of time. Correct. You understand what I'm saying?
Because your status
according to what time you come in, they gonna hold you until that check be finalized. Now, by the time it be finalized, the second check kicking in.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all in the process of getting the money, but at the same time, it's mentally scarring you. You understand
Mentally
what I'm
scarring
saying?
you, mentally scarring your loved ones.
And the sad part be, what if your first time? You ain't never been arrested before. It's killing you. So you gonna call home 20 times in a day. Cause you're trying to get out. But understand, every phone call you make is what? Money. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so it's intentionally done to you.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And they make you feel like it's right. You understand? Because no one is fighting for that. You know, I tell people all the time, we protest the wrong shit.
Correct.
We got to protest that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to protest everything that they do to you to violate you in the process.
Yeah.
There's no way a man should be making bond on a Monday and don't see the street until Wednesday.
Right.
I don't give a damn how slow you say
the system is to check all of it, make sure you ain't got no warrants somewhere else.
Those are excuses.
Locking people up on misdemeanors.
Thank you. If a judge give you a bond and the bonding company satisfies that bond to get you released, there's no way you can tell me you can't put this man paperwork in a printer and say bonds paid, satisfied, however you want to do it, and make a copy of it, and say go get him dressed and get him out of him.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
No, man. Now you become a part of the money fold.
Right. And we have a guest online, and the guest says, when the enforcers of the law violate the law in their enforcement of the law, what form of law is in practice? None. It's known as right.
Yeah.
None. So you know, and then you got the sheriff who's put in a real bad position. You know what I'm saying? Because now this sheriff got to stand in front of the public and say, well, you know, we this happened because we don't have enough people to run the jail, to guard the jail, to do this with the jail. What you mean?
But because all of that is hoopla.
Exactly.
Let somebody make overtime. It's some people want to work.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But you can't say we got 2,500 inmates, so we're gonna let 25 people be off on the same day.
We don't have the manpower for what's coming in.
That's why you don't.
Right.
That's why you don't.
Yeah.
So quit locking them all up over any little thing.
You get a grant for $60 million a year.
Right.
You sure
What
do.
you mean you can't hire nobody? What you mean you short on help?
Do all of them get a grant for $60 million?
Everybody get a grant.
They do. And quit the mass incarceration.
They get $64 million a year.
That's
Where-
crazy.
That's a real question. Where the money going? If y'all not paying the juries, if y'all not bringing these cases to trial.
Yeah, they do. They pay the jurors $25 a day.
I get it, but if the cases are not getting to the jury, the question is tonight, right? Mm-hmm. That if the process is just a plea, mm-hmm. or the truth, right? Seeking the truth.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, right, because a lot of people plea out because they just can't afford proper representation.
And they don't know.
Right.
It's lack of education.
And that's the thing about even with anything, fighting anything, it takes proper representation. Like me and Tracy dealing with the housing situation. We spent thousands of dollars on lawyers and attorneys. Like, it's fighting the process. And it could be in criminal. It could be politics, trying to change certain laws. It's like with me and Big Jeff, with the YSL, like, those lawyers didn't come for free.
Of course,
right?
You know,
exactly.
so
exactly.
who repays people like Gotti, who sat in jail for 3 years and then he got found not guilty?
Well, they're doing. Yeah, they're
Who
going through that now.
reimburses
Absolutely.
his attorney for that? You know, there's a new law now that Tracy and I was discussing this weekend. A friend of mine, he was actually one of the authors of the law. And what it entails in Georgia is that if you're wrongfully convicted, for each year that you sat in prison, they owe you like $75,000. And now they're saying is they're only going to pay them starting off with $6,000 to begin with. So they're delaying even the people that they know that they owe money to.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's
just to get
the system
money.
again.
Yep. It's a process just to get the money.
It's sad because they make it a process.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they can't do it.
Exactly.
They make it a process because everybody's playing tug of the money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at the same token, you know, like when we was in trial, you had people who was being paid to do certain things, and they was getting topped off. How is that when you can't pay your employees their money?
Right.
How you gonna give somebody you making be a witness in a case that's meaningless? But here's somebody else come to work in your office and they can't get their check. We had public defenders on the case that
Didn't want to represent anymore.
they actually had to damn near sue Fulton County.
Right.
For them to give them more than $7,500 for a case that was going 3 years.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You had jurors that was being forced to come to jury duty.
Yeah.
Or go to jail.
And that's what they'll do.
And they wasn't even getting their $25 a day.
Right.
See, that's the things y'all didn't see.
Nope.
You understand?
Exactly. And the thing is, they made the YSL case so time consuming for these public defenders where they couldn't properly represent their client and take on cases where they would make money. They had to choose. Like, am I going to, because the state is not paying me properly.
It's all about that bond.
You know what the judge said? You know what the judge told them? Y'all are demanded to stay on this case.
Yeah.
They wound up getting them folks $75, $100 more. They made $15,000 off that case.
15,000.
15,000. Some of those people lost their jobs. Some of the jurors lost their jobs. We went through 1,700 jurors.
What?
And still didn't wind up with a full jury pool. A full jury pool is 65 people. We had 59 out of 1,700. You understand what I'm saying? Even jurors during the trial, jurors were still begging and writing letters to the judge asking them to please allow them to get off this case. But they only showed y'all one that wrote the letter. It was 4 jurors wrote letters to them.
So I have a question. I I know I'm not on camera, but I'm Dejanay's dad. So I hear all the conversations that are taking place centered around, the system information. My question would be to the panel, and also this might be the question for others who are listening. What is the framework where persons that are ignorant of this information and ignorant of the system, because it's great to have these conversations, and there is what we call an awareness cloud that happens from this information. After there is an awareness, how do I gain access to the information that will empower me to know my rights, to understand how I need to execute and operate myself if and should I get into this type of situation? Because yes, we have people and we have examples of people who have been misused and abused by the system, but they don't even know that they are being misused and abused by the system because there's not necessarily a ready library or access to this information. So someone who is listening right now, what would we suggest is the framework for A, B, and C to educate themselves in order to make sure that they don't get taken advantage of?
Law library.
Yeah. So.
Law library.
Right, the law library, and then that I would say the whole point of what we're doing, which is the Building Bridges Initiative.
Exactly.
And so the Building Bridges Initiative is really to fill in the gap, to have people to have access to the resources, where we do discussion tables, we do round table talks, and also with me newly being appointed the community impact leader with Al Bartel, and as he is running for his candidacy of U.S. Senate, we will be able to allow the community opportunity to come together in partnership with us, basically saying those things of what is it that you're looking for, what is it that you're requiring, or just really looking how can we find that process to help. And so with that, I would just say go to worldhumanrights.world to look at that process of what we're doing as far as the partnership with Al and myself, as well as I don't know how we can put it on the chat, but the givebutter.com, and find us at
the Give Butter.
Yes, givebutter.com/WDP Advocate, or find us on Instagram at WDP Advocate. And that is literally what we're doing, to be the catalyst of change, to be the catalyst of educating the community about their rights. And it just even really starting with the youth, because they are the next ones, because the more people who don't know what's going on or their rights are, their even Bill of Rights.
And then also, I'm glad he asked that question, because that's 99%, and of why me and Shanita came up with this show, is to let get the people the information that they don't know, by talking about it and having discussions on it and allowing people to come and speak on it. We have had Mr. Victor Hill on this show speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? So, that this is our way of trying to bring the people together to stand and fight. People feel partnering with us, just being real. They feel partnering with us because we be too real sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And in protests, a lot of people don't understand how protests are. Protests are designed to, someone in that protest has to be the one that say, I'm gonna be the one go to jail if somebody ought to go to jail.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
That's me. So, and the thing that I say to the enforcement is, if you put your cuffs on me, I just hope you're right. You better put them on me for a reason. Because I'm going gonna take it to the door. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the threat we have to have with them. For them to understand that these people are for real. You understand what I'm saying? They not just here for the clout. We don't ask nobody for now dime to support this show.
Nothing.
Because it's for the people to us.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, and that's how we can learn the laws. That's how we, you know, I want some lawyers to come on here. We got lawyers who can come on here and talk. You know what I'm saying? And there's no strings attached.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the major reasons why we came up with this show.
Right. Right.
And also, what I was going to say is, if there's something that, you know, the question was, how can a person find resources to advocate for themselves for their particular subject? Because there are a range of different subjects that someone may be fighting for. One thing that I enjoy doing is going to Instagram or TikTok and putting in exactly what you're looking for. Lawyer in Georgia fighting for whatever, or advocacy groups about housing, or criminal justice reform groups in whatever state you're looking for, and just use those keywords, and they'll pull up different types of groups and stuff and people you can just link with. So I think the best thing to do also is, like Big Jeff says, to link with like-minded people who are trying to get the same results that you're hoping to get, you know? And also Chat GPA. Chat GPT. That's Miss Trey's one of her favorites.
See, we have the thing to where you all probably didn't, if you weren't following the case, you wouldn't know. But as of now, our DA, Funny Willis, a year ago, stopped open records at Fulton County. Everything that he's saying, how you go about finding out this, that, and other, that's open record. They actually have a room down in the courthouse you can go to and sit in there and print it out.
Correct.
She stopped that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, now it's time to hide some stuff. You can't let everything be open record now. So she stopped people from being able to go and pull open records. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that a violation?
Yeah.
And a lot of
That's a
counties,
violation.
and a lot of counties have stopped that, and they put a law out
Thank you.
around
Thank you.
people requesting open records requests.
Thank
If we can actually get attorneys in Georgia who would actually go
Fight
after
for
the
it.
due process violations, the constitutional violations, when people go and they hire an attorney, and they're trying to hire an attorney, and they have all these felon charges that the police officer has stacked, and a lot of times it seems like if you'll say black and white, this person robbed someone, say they were white, and this person did the same thing, they were black. This black person is now going to have 5 felonies or more. This person, they're going to move it to something less, and it's just going to be 1. And then you can have the same person that was just standing somewhere where a crime happened, and they had nothing to do with it at all.
Right.
Oh, well, you were there.
We went through all of that.
And yeah, they violate people's due process all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
So we, you know, and it's so, and they try to be so clever with it to where they'll charge me and this man with being gang members, and then we standing in the courtroom fighting it, they'll say, well, a gang, the definition of gang is 2 or more. Okay. But what they got to do with me and him? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, y'all was arrested together in the same area still. What they got to do with me and him? So you gonna make us know each other because we was in the same area? You
Right.
gonna make us be partners in crime because we was in the same area?
Right, they want a package deal.
You understand? So, you know, it's crazy, but this is what they actually do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And God forbid they find out that we from that community. He may have grown up a mile from where we at in the community.
Exactly.
But we from the same community.
So you got to know him, right? Even if you don't know him, they assume that you got to know him.
You'll be surprised.
Right.
And they get away with it because everybody that's in
it's all a payoff.
You know, so, you know, we got to be real now. Attorneys, on the attorney end, people got to understand that you just can't go get an attorney because you say you want to pay an attorney.
Right.
You have different genres of attorneys.
Correct.
You got attorneys who are plea lawyers. You got attorneys who are court hearing lawyers, to where they'll go in there and the only thing they want to do is get your bond, you know, get your case in the system for you to go to court, this, that, and the third.
Right.
Then you got your defense counsels. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who are going to fight for you. So a lot of people don't know that. So they just figure, okay, well, Big Jeff say you can go get Brian Steele. Brian Steele is a criminal lawyer.
Right. So he's not gonna handle housing issues.
Thank you. So certain cases he's not gonna take them because it's not him.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and Gunner got caught up with that with Steve Sadow. Sadow is a plea attorney.
Sadow, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So he's not gonna go to trial.
Right.
He gonna try to make you cop a plea. You know, so
And he was also President Trump's attorney, so
you know, but you see
different
Trump
attorneys.
finally got Drew Fillon.
Oh, okay. No, I
Then
didn't know.
he fired Drew Fillon and went back to Sadow.
Oh.
So he played the game. So Sadow really sold Gunner. Okay. You know, okay, I give you this favor, make him plea. You give me this favor. That's how they play.
It's all a
It is a game.
negotiation.
And we have a comment from Peter True Love 3669. They say, or he, she, is it policy, statutory, common law, constitutional, equity, or whatever? However, the attorneys as hearing officers responsible through duty to judge, administrate, trustees over estates. So pretty much what he's saying is we have all these different labels, and some of these attorneys, whether they be hearing officers, whether they be trustees, they just corrupt.
Yep.
And he says one must read first a lot, very often. There's a book called Fruit of a Poisonous Tree by Melvin Stampler. Read the Constitution, all of it, state official codes, familiarize yourself with statutory jurisdiction, common law, equity, one must read. And then it says foreigners occupying a land mass, establishing self-appointed authority, dominating, and they're subjecting the original inhabitants, calling it law and order. The whole concept is out of order. Okay. All right. Are you a lawyer? Because I'm like, what?
So I feel like he's just,
Need an education to read this. Like, what?
no, he's just really.
My follow-up to that was, so there's a popular song now, Where Am I Scamming, and whatever that song is. And so, and the reason why I bring that up is because it's so popular, it's so catchy. And, you know, Dejanay, you mentioned about youth and, you know, educating our youth. What are we doing to combat that voice that is in the atmosphere and environment to let them know that of these resources? Because it's a battle. It's a battle because of, you know, you got a song that's playing everywhere. Where am I scamming people? And then people, there's a gentleman, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he did an article on LinkedIn, and he talked about how impressionable the mind of a 5-year-old to 13-year-old, where they learn the value of luxury and trying to attain luxury items before they learn the value of how to invest in the stock market or how to build something. So they're so impressionable that they'll do anything. They'll scam, they'll rob, they'll steal to go after that luxury, to have that name brand, but not learn how to, you know what, I need to learn how to defend myself. So point in case, when you were a kid, I told y'all couldn't watch TV between Monday and Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, y'all could watch TV. Y'all was all in
All
it.
in.
But you saw the structure to that and the value of it
Correct.
once you got older. You didn't like it when you was a kid, but you understood the value and the structure of it.
Correct.
How can we do that same type of thing to combat those voices that are in the marketplace right now?
That's parental guidance. They got to do that. Parents got to, we got to understand that the parents now, yeah, so, but there are, how Barney and Mac say, mama,
We some punk ass parents.
mama 15,
Big Mama,
grandmama,
ain't no more
grandmama
Big Mama
25,
35.
great grandmama 32. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Big Mama coming in the club on,
Thank you.
on t-
it's all of that plays a role in that because that's what the kids look. And my kids will tell you, I was that parent that my mama was, that my father was. If you don't earn it, bro, it ain't happening. You earn what you get. You know what I'm saying? Today's parents, 35 and under, they want the kid to have the best at whatever expense, but at the expense of others. You understand? Hey, call your grandmama, call your granddad, tell them you want some shoes, tell them you want this, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna bring you these bobos over here, and they say, nah, I want some Jordans. Well, you better get your basketball, bro.
Well, shoot, everybody ain't like that now.
But all of us have said this over time.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till I grow up. I can't wait till I get grown. I can't wait till I do this. I ain't gonna raise my children like I raised bullshit. I am. I'm gonna raise mine the way I was raised.
I agree with
'Cause
that.
we were raised properly.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? But the new wave parents, they look at the discipline that we stored upon them as wrong. You understand what I'm saying? They think that we raised them wrong.
And it has to come from the parents because the schools are dumbing down.
Thank
The
you.
schools have removed the books from the curriculum.
Tell me about
Giving
it.
them computers,
Thank
like Georgia has a major literacy problem, but the districts have billion-dollar budgets. It's like,
Thank you.
make it make sense.
My grandchildren was at the house one day, and I got a collection of CDs and DVDs. And they were looking out, they were just standing there looking out like, what is it? I
They didn't know what it was.
They said, Granddad, what this is? I said, that's a CD. They said, what is a CD?
They do. My baby said the same thing.
I put,
we looked at 8 tracks.
yeah, hey man, I put it in the CD player and they started playing the music. They were standing there like, what the? I said, hey man, we were taught, like you say, like we looked at the 8-track, but we were made aware of the 8-track.
Yeah.
We had the intel of this is an 8-track, it goes in this and
Right.
this, that, and 30, and we were still playing them damn near when we got grown. We still play an 8-track. I had a reel to reel. You understand what I'm saying? My kids and grandkids were seeing that stuff, man, and they was like, that thing can't play. Then when I cut it on, it's shocking.
Oh.
This how we had this was our entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, man, if they can't stick a plug in the damn hole, or they can't download it, or they can't
Stream it.
Wi-Fi tool, they can't get, hey man, they don't know how to get no music.
Yeah.
I made all my grandchildren look at live bands. They shocked, man, cause they done took all of this out of school.
Connection.
true.
Right.
You understand?
They've snatched the connection
they-
from people.
They took music and art. Yeah, history. Exactly.
But I do want to shout out some groups that I think are wonderful groups in our community. And I was telling him when he said about like what are some things to help the youth. And I think some of the groups that are out are phenomenal groups. For one, If you're in like the Douglas County area, I know the Douglas County Police Department have a group called Youth Against Violence and Gang Prevention. The group started just out of love of some of the officers that help the youth in the community. And then it became so good, so popular. They have sessions on Saturdays, and they bring in, like Big Jeff was saying, they bring in artists, they bring in polices, they bring in judges, they bring in different people to come and speak and to talk about what not to do, talk about the laws and how not to break these laws. And I think that program is one of the top ones that's phenomenal. There's also one on Instagram called I Am a Father First, and that's out of Atlanta. And he is run by black men, and they bring in black men, young boys, and they groom them and they teach them how to, do things the right way and make the good choices in life. And also, the 100 Black Men, they have a program that's really good and phenomenal. So there are resources out there. We just have to be more proactive in finding them. And I think nowadays, because of the internet, they're more accessible and they're more findable than they were maybe 10 years ago when I may have needed the help, or 20 years ago. So I think with the new technology, Instagram and TikTok, more of those resources are more findable than they were before in the past.
Yeah, I think it goes back to even desire, to the desire to want different, to want to see change, and really be able to. It's funny that he was saying that as far as the TV, because I practice that with my kids now because it's of structure, and it really goes to what were you taught, and then okay, yes, you like you said, they may have the experience of feeling that like it was wrong. Yeah. But then ultimately 9 times out of 10 you have to come back to that same situation, and now you don't even know what to do, or you realize that you didn't take that time to actually really study what is necessary and what is available.
See, I introduced a program one time, right,
Can't hear you, Big Jeff.
I introduced the program to the justice system one time, and the program was, we had the big brothers, big sisters, we had a fatherhood, we had the 100 Black Men, we have all these programs.
Right.
And I have been connected to a lot of those programs.
Right.
And to me, the programs are okay, to where, when it come down to doing certain things, they'll participate. But when it come down to doing a lot of real things, they back away from it. You know what I'm saying? And I had asked this question one time that let's balance the scale. All right, we got 100 black men. All these men probably been college educated, this, that, and never been in trouble, so forth and so on. Okay, let's bring in some guys who have actually lived that type of life. That's done been in trouble, that's done been rehabilitated, and they doing something proper with their life. Let people hear their stories.
Correct.
And to me, that'll help the kids, like, okay, now we understand why these men are like this. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's something they need to know. That'll, scared straight didn't do nothing to nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Because you took these kids to a jail, picked certain guys to come and holler at them, because that's all they were doing to us, just hollering at us, like, scared them. But we didn't learn nothing from it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me talk to a man who was convicted for robbery or murder, that went and served his time to society, came home rehabilitated, changed his life, got himself together, and now he living a normal, successful life.
I'll bring
He go to work every day. He doing this. See, that's the story these kids need to hear.
Right.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? you know, along with the other stories.
Correct.
Let them hear both sides, man. You know what I'm saying? But you got guys who, man, I got a partner who bring him in, let him talk to the kids. You understand?
Yeah.
Bring him in, let him talk, man. Let him tell the kids, yeah, I would like you, rough head, taking out with his truth and this, that, and the other, and this why I winded up at.
Right.
I had to go through something to come back and be somebody. You understand? Because sometimes we have to go through. Sometimes you got to find out the hard way.
Correct.
Let them hear some of those stories that this is a guy who had to learn the hard way. So if you're going to continue to be a knucklehead, you're going to go through what he went through, if not worse. And then let him sit in a room and counsel this kid. You understand what I'm saying? Now the kid can have an understanding, okay, maybe I am going the wrong way. Maybe I am doing the wrong thing.
Right.
And then you might deter him from continuing to be an asshole. You understand what I'm saying? And wind up in a bad position. You know, I think they need to hear all the stories. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to come and talk and say, hey man, this was once me. Victor Hill said something on our show, man, that was really inspiring. Because you looking at a man who was
Police chief,
a man who was law-abiding to the T. Ran into some trouble, wound up in federal prison, and then once he got to federal prison, he seen the other side. And said, well, damn, a lot of people who I probably sent to prison might have been true people. Because now he's living it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, this man said right there when you sitting there and say, hey man, I wrote a book in federal prison.
Right. He pops up on my screen.
He said, guess who wrote the book for me? The inmates. So who's smarter than who?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm educated and couldn't write a book. But here I am in a correctional institution, and the guys in the correctional institution got enough education to write my book for me. You damn right these kids need to hear those stories.
Correct. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Balance the scale. Balance the scale, man. This man went through some stuff, man, to where, you know, if he tell you the story, you wouldn't believe it. But he survived it. He survived it. You know how many people he may have sent to prison? You understand what I'm saying? And then you got to go in with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you survive.
You only see that on Power.
Thank you. But now we got a real life story. This
Yeah.
is TV.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
No,
get the
this
children,
is real happy.
Invite these people to some of your seminars and let them talk to the kids and let them know, hey, bro, you can go one or two ways.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And give them their story.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, man. I got a second chance at life. And I wound up being a coach for 30 years. One of the best in the business.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? By somebody giving me a second chance.
Second chance. Right.
You know, but you got to want it.
That's true.
And a lot of times, parents try to keep their kids in sports to keep them active, that, you know, ideally to keep them out of trouble. But everybody can't afford to put their kids in sports.
That's
See,
true.
and then you can't force sports on kids.
Right, you can't force it at all.
And me being a coach, for the time I've been a coach, I ran into that majority of my coaching career. That parents are forcing these kids to play sports. And the kid, you know, but understand this, it's no different than life. If you force a kid to go a certain way, be a certain way, live a certain way, act a certain way, they lose the interest.
Right.
That's what you don't want. Don't make them lose the interest. Let them pick their part. Okay? They might not be good at basketball. They might say, well, Daddy, can I play football? Yeah, play football or something.
Right.
Or they can ride horses.
Thank you. Anything. They might like horses. So let them learn how to ride horses.
Right.
You might be a good jockey.
Right.
You know, but my son told me at 16 in high school, Washington High School,
Right.
My quarterback coach came and said, hey man, we having a meeting. He said, boy, we finna build a team off Jeff. So I'm like, this coach, your boy tough, your boy the truth. So I'm like, for real, my boy? You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, we finna build our team off of him. One day we ride home from practice, he said, Dad, I don't think I wanna play football no more.
Oh wow.
I said, okay, but you know my heart done flashed. You know, something.
Flat line.
Right, right, right.
Okay, I said, but can you tell me why? He said, Dad, I ain't with somebody here, man, I can't get them back. You know, what can I say to that?
Right, right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
What kind of comeback can I have for him saying that?
Right.
I say, man, if that's how you feel, well, you know, you ain't gotta play. My coaches were hurt when I told them that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna force him for somebody else's account.
Correct.
Let him stop playing. Man, I started having people coming up to me and say, hey man, you ever heard your song rap? Yeah, I am again. My song? You know what I'm saying? I whooped my song about rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because you was stuck on Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know, I said, no, I said, they say, hey man, you need to hear him, but that boy, the truth. This in 2009. 2014, a man named Brian Williams come to Atlanta looking for some talent, met my song. Listened to one song and signed it. One song, man, and signed it. I'm still on some, he ain't ready, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Cause,
right.
you know, and I used to tell him, he said, why I ain't ready now? I said, cause you're not dedicated. You still straddling the fence. You can't straddle the fence when you want to do what you want to do. Once I seen him dedicate, I said, now you ready. And the rest history.
Right, right.
You understand? Hey man, a man give you $3.5 million at one time, you 20 years old, you're a damn fool.
Right, right.
With some money, man, you can go buy anything, have anything, do anything. He's a fool. And I always have, as coaches and people, period, we need to come up with a counseling agency for youth that become successful. I say become successful overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Because look at all these kids now in the NFLs, the NBA. Soon as they get these checks, they start getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're not having nobody to counsel them.
Or their
on
agents take their
you
money.
know, they age,
And they gotta catch a
they're
plea.
too young. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
And they gotta catch a
You
plea.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but nobody that's giving them all this amount of money
Right.
or doing that. for
Because
them.
that's not normal. That's
Thank you.
kind of like,
So, you know, but now, we can't forget though.
yeah,
New day and time.
yeah,
They black.
Right, exactly.
yeah,
We can't let these blacks
yeah.
get all this money because they
Exactly.
might come together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we really got some problems.
Oh, right.
So what we gonna do? We're gonna trade them like
So,
Jalen
thank
Brown.
you. So now we gotta put them in some kind of cahoots
Exactly.
so we can control this money and hopefully get the money back.
Right, in the narrative.
There you go. So that's why I say we got to let the people who go through things tell these stories to these kids.
Right.
Then we gotta have some people who's gonna be real enough with them to say, hey man, invest. Get you some stock. Do this, do that, and introduce it to them and show them how to do it.
Right.
Instead of letting some white boy stand there and say, hey man, look, if you invest $5 million in this paper right here, we can get you 20 million back. And then you get him the 5 million, and now you calling him and he ain't answering.
Exactly.
Because you didn't learn, you didn't know nothing.
Know the process.
And they taking advantage of it.
Exactly.
You know, my mom used to always say, and then I started hearing it from my teachers as I got older. Nobody never know how stupid you are until you open your mouth.
Right. That's true.
So guess what? People who are, like you say, people who are scamming you,
Right.
once they start talking to you and you respond a certain kind of way, oh yeah, I got him. I can
Right.
hit her.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
And it happens.
It does.
Look at what they doing to our elderly. Scamming our elderly. Taking their houses, taking their bank accounts, the whole night. Because the generation that's responsible for them now are not there.
Or not what?
Or they're not there.
They're not
For
there.
the
They're not
elderly
there
like
for
we
'em.
was.
Right.
We were there for our elders.
That's true.
These kids now, man, you let one of us get too old, we can't do nothing, our ass through.
Okay.
Now we taking a
Don't put them in a hole, baby. Let's take that house. Let's sell it.
You know, now we tell you, okay, I'm gonna take my plea, I'm gonna let y'all put me in the home,
That's
dog.
what they do.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
then-
my plea.
And then they be fighting over the house.
Thank you, that's my
Yeah.
plea. So
And,
it's sad
giving
to
away
say,
the land.
look at the King family, well-educated family, supposed to be well-to-do on a whole lot of things. Lose their parents, shit,
Legacy.
legacy.
The legacy.
They selling the legacy.
Wow.
The legacy was locked up with a gate.
Come on, man.
You couldn't even visit it.
Thank you.
You brought me
Come
back
on,
to
man.
a
Let
moment
me
where
bring
I
that mic
literally
down, please.
you brought me back to a moment where I was
But
in
to
front of
see
the
it.
True though.
And the county should have jumped
29.
in.
How old are you?
You know,
Who?
an age.
Okay.
It's nothing
I'm
but a
60.
number.
Okay. See. My point is, we
so much.
seen a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even though we came in damn on the back end of it, we was taught it in history.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Who teach history now?
Right. They're trying to do away with it.
Oh, they want
What
to do
kids
away with
learning
it.
history now? None of them.
Right.
So, okay, now with that being said, I do have to ask a question. Where do we feel like the ball was dropped? Because if wait. If there's a gap between the education, us knowing our rights, us, knowing certain policy procedures and protocols, and, knowing the history, we only know what we were taught. So, in a sense, if our parents were taught a certain way, and their parents were taught a certain way, and then their parents were taught a certain way, being the fact that it is different times, it is different, different things, and I know it comes from a sense of even manipulation from the system.
Mm-hmm.
Who dropped the ball?
So before you answer, let me pick up. So a part of that goes back to what he said with the parents and the generational where, if you look at the political scene where corporations became lobbyists, became the largest lobbyists of our political system, we moved from mom and pop to corporation across the board. And what I mean by that is we begin to get so distracted with what corporations gave us the opportunity to do, whether it was sports, whether it's entertainment, whether it was just across the board. Once that corporation money came in, mom and pop became it became not valued. So when things were valued, like, okay, let's point it place. Your great grandfather,
Correct.
which was my grandfather, had 40 acres in Central Florida. A man came and offered them some money, and they sold that. So here it is. We begin to value monetary gain versus ownership. So this is all falls in the same category where we are being tantalized for the temporal versus the long-term goal. So that 40 acres turned into a racerama. It was called Mitchell Acres. It turned into a racerama. From a racerama, it turned into a bank. And what sits on that corner right now is a gas station. No history of Mitchell Acres is recorded. You gotta search deep history. Now, if we follow that same pattern across the board, where people exchange immediate gratification, let's look at the system of welfare, where they told women in the late 60s and early 70s, you can't have no man in the house. And then if you don't have a man in the house, guess what? We're gonna give you this check. You have exchanged immediate gratification for the long-term goal. So look at mom and pop stores. Mom and pop stores used to run and was the infrastructure of the South and even also in the North. Walmart corporation comes in, let me buy this land, let me buy your corporation, let me buy your product. Once again, immediate gratification in exchange for the long-term longevity goal. So if you follow that pattern where you say, who dropped the ball? We all dropped the ball. Because we have to be mindful of the notion of immediate when things are presented to you, you have to ask yourself the question, is this immediate gratification or a long-term goal or a long-term system? Because it will look shiny, it will look fun, it will look entertaining, but at the end of the day, it's going to cost you. So you have to ask yourself the question, what is this going to cost me in the long run? Because at the end of the day, it's going to feel good. Think about having kids. Right. Making them is fun, but they with you for the long term.
And I'm going to piggyback that. I tell the story when I be asked questions like that. This is what I say to that.
What you say?
If you went in a department store and they had board games in there, I guarantee you this. When you go to the board game section, you're going to find these 4 games. Monopoly. Life.
Right.
No, Trouble.
Operation with the little bone and thing, you know that.
No, this one
They
more.
gave it out for a long time.
You said 4, right?
Operation game. The little bubble.
No.
didn't say Monopoly.
Trouble. That's trouble.
That's trouble.
Okay, well then
You're going to find Monopoly,
Monopoly,
Life, Trouble, and what else?
That little operation game with the little.
Is it ladders?
Sorry. Okay. Those are the 4 games of life to me.
And they make multiple versions
Those
of
are the 4
Especially
games
Monopoly.
of life to me.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because in life, you're going to learn how to monopolize.
Right.
Then you're going to start living life. Because you're going to buy you some house, you're going to buy you a house, a car, you're going to become a product of society,
Might go to
corporate
jail.
America, this, that, and other. Then,
We ain't
then
playing.
if
I
you
tried to play it,
then
but I
if you ain't
never
smart
understood
with it,
Life.
Yeah.
you're going to do
Monopoly.
something
Oh,
to
Monopoly.
where he going to come and sell you a
Yeah,
house
I
and
had
say,
the
okay,
fake
this is
dolls.
the
My mom
blueprint
used
and
to
you
buy
can
us
this,
that
that,
every
and the
Christmas.
other. And then
Yeah,
5
it's
years
fun.
from now, you're going to say, they get a letter and they say, well, we about to take this house because it was illegally obtained.
Yeah.
Now you're in trouble. Soon as you hit a certain age or something happen or whatever, you're going to lose a loved one. Somebody going to wind up in a jail. Somebody going to wind up in an unfortunate situation. And you sorry for that.
That's life.
That's life.
Right.
That's life. Now, according to how you set it up, it's how it's going to go for you. When you play Monopoly, you buy a property, you go around the board, come back, you can buy you a house, you can put your 2 houses on it. Every time you elevate, the rent get higher. Once you get them 4 houses, you say, okay, I'm gonna buy me a hotel now. That's that mansion you want to live in.
Correct.
I think I got sick.
Every time somebody come out there, you lay in your grass, they gotta pay.
They gotta pay tax. They
Understand
gotta pay
what I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah.
So guess what? That's how you set your life up
Yeah.
accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, moral of the story is game does not never change.
Okay.
The players do. It's y'all time now. We had our time. You understand? So according to how you was raised, you go look in that mirror and say, hey, Michael Jackson, I see what you're saying now. You understand what I'm saying? Cause when you look in that mirror, you see how much work this man and your mama put in to get your ass to 30 years old. Why is it a problem for you to do the same thing with your child to get your child to 30 and have the same mentality you got? You understand what I'm saying? The system told us in the late 80s, if you whoop your child, if you chastise your child, if you do anything to your child that we feel like not right, listen what I'm saying, that we feel like is not right.
Right.
We're gonna lock you up for child abuse, we're gonna take you to jail or whatever. Your child got the right to call the police on you, this, that, and other. In my right hand to go, I was standing in the courtroom telling the judge these words. If they little asses go home with me, I'm gonna whoop their asses. I'm gonna test it. You and nobody else ain't gonna tell me how to raise these. These mine. They go home with me every day. If you wanna change that, take them home with you. And you ain't gonna hear a word out of me, cause I know you're gonna bring them back. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Know that judge looked at me and said, Mr. Will you get your family, take your family home, you damn right. 'Cause I know you don't want these problems.
Right,
You
right.
understand? So, like I say, until we stand up, we're gonna continue to sit out. You understand what I'm saying? And go for whatever.
Yeah.
That's the answer to your question. You understand? That's what changed. We let the government tell us how to raise our children. You understand? So now you'll say, man, I ain't finna be whipping my daughter or my son cause they call the police, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna be beating their ass when the police pull up. You understand? That's what I tell the system. I'm gonna make sure you have a reason to take me down, cause see, before you take my child down, I'd rather for you to take me.
Right.
So that they can see that these are principles. It's a privilege for your ass to be rewarded,
Yes.
not a gift. You understand? If you can't take out the garbage, what the hell you need with some Jordans? If you can't wash the dishes, what you need? If you can't clean up your room, what do you need with anything when you can't do what you're supposed to do?
You can't even clean the
Exactly.
kitchen after you
understand what I'm
cook.
saying?
Why do you need groceries? I'm not buying groceries no more. I just said that today.
That we have
I
to
said
start
that
back
today.
instilling
I
in our
promise you I
kids.
said that today.
Yeah.
Cause see, the government done gave you back your kids now, cause they tired of getting the money off of them, and your child still coming to court.
Right.
As a 12-year-old, 10-year-old going to court, you damn kidding me?
It
Who you
happens.
think that make look bad? You or them? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It make the parent look bad, but
But at the same token, they two-headed sword.
Yeah.
If you whoop them in chest-town, we gonna lock you up.
That's
Guess
true.
what? I'm gonna be beating their ass in the court. You understand?
No.
Okay.
I got kids of all ages now.
Right.
Guess what all my kids will tell you? Our dad will tell us in a minute, you know, Joe get no ass whooping.
Yeah, they too grown now to get a whooping.
We gonna fight, we gonna
Fuck
tear
that.
something up. And when I feel like I can't whoop you, gonna be handicapped.
I'm telling you.
Come
For
take
real, I'm
some
gonna
beat
knock
your
your
ass with me.
ass out.
So,
For real.
my mama did it to us.
Right.
Christina hit you in your mouth right now, God rest her soul, if she was living. And I'm 60. I seen my 42-year-old brother get her ass whipping before she passed.
Oh wow.
Okay. So guess what? My mom been dead since 1997. I'm still scared of her. I'm still scared of her. Cause every time I feel like I'm finna do something wrong, see the first thing cross my mind. Scare me to death. That's the seed you gotta plant in these children now, man. That's how we gonna have to say it.
Yeah.
We gonna have to make them feel something.
Right.
Cause the kids today don't feel nothing.
The fear of
You got
God.
12, 13, 10-year-old children running around here with a damn gun.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Come on, man. I was scared to take a BB gun in the house, man. Up in
Right.
Cleveland.
And then the drugs, they do drugs these days. Like,
In
I was
elementary,
scared. You
it's
know,
like,
to this
what?
day, I've never smoked weed in my life. I was always scared to do something that would taint my judgment, and I'll be doing something crazy or looking crazy. I never. But these kids these days, they like do drugs like it's normal.
Take
It's because
pills.
of it's because the parents have let this system put the fear in them that they can't chastise their damn children. Some people still believe that.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them do.
They still believe that, man. So, listen, man, I went there when none of us right now, even you young youth, when none of us right now have the audacity or the mindset to take some drugs in our parents' house.
What?
And God forbid, smoke them,
What? Right.
or do them, or let them sit.
Right.
Please.
What?
These kids that come in and get to their parent, man. The hoe.
That's crazy.
Serious.
Yeah.
And
And
then to you the hoe.
like it's normal. You like, what? Did you just?
So
Right.
that's where the ball was fumbled at. We let the system put that distraction in front of us on chastising our child,
It goes back to the money.
and we forgot to be. They
real
took
parent.
the run of guidance from us.
Yeah.
It's
Then
like,
they got tired of them. They gave them back to you. It's too late. It can be too late now.
it's too late now. And the drugs are like, it's an epidemic in all of these
Baby,
schools.
you ain't never been able to get drugs this easy.
I mean, all the schools. When I was growing up, we had to write papers on the drug, what the drug does to you, and try and put the fear or something. They used to have those meth commercials on TV here. You don't even see the meth commercials anymore.
You don't see none of it
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
the government is making the money off for it.
Exactly.
I'm talking
And
about
they're putting it in the jails too.
if you can get lean, you know what lean is? Lean is cough syrup that's prescribed.
Right.
How can a man have 100 bottles of it if it's prescribed? You can't get it from nowhere but a pharmacy, and you have to be identified to get it.
Exactly.
How is somebody coming up to have 100 bottles of it? How is somebody able to get buckets and cases and boxes of Percocet medication that's prescribed by a doctor and put it on the street? You know, come on, man. We talking about prescription drugs
I
on the
mean,
street.
and it goes to what the Bible say: wickedness in high places. That's
Thank you.
period.
Hey, man, it's
It
programmed for that. They are experimenting on us, man.
Right. That's why it's called the projects.
There you go.
Exactly.
Look how they have all those cannabis shops right next
Thank
to
you.
schools and all these
Thank you.
areas. Who
But
are they owned by?
But I tell you can't put a liquor store next to a church. But the vape shop here.
Right.
The vape shop right across the street from the church. Make that shop. Make that.
It is
Cause
actually.
everybody's
It don't make no
smoking.
sense.
The minister
Exactly.
smoking. The
Exactly.
deacon smoking, the deaconette smoking, the minister is smoking, the mother of the bowl smoking. Hey, man. But they call
Everybody's
this
smoking.
the new wave. No, this ain't the new wave. This ain't the new wave. We're allowing it to be the new wave.
I feel like there's a breakthrough coming though. I feel like there is
I hope so.
new possibilities that, you know, really can be created in a way that we can take it back.
Let me tell you who's showing you that. And, you know, and like I say, Sunita tell you, I always talk about distractions. How they'll throw a distraction in front of us, and we go for the distraction and we forget about the main course. Everybody hate him. Hate him.
Hate them.
They hate him with a passion because we have been manipulated to hate him. But if you sit back and observe him, you'll see that he's doing exactly what you're talking about. Putting you in a position to take your shit back.
That's true.
But everybody got so much hate for him,
They can't see the
they
plan.
can't see the plan.
Right.
Donald Trump doing this.
Right.
This man trying to send all the foreigners back to where the hell they come from. You understand?
Yeah.
He's trying to put you in a position to where you can live and be successful in living. He ain't taking that from you. He ain't taking no jobs from you or nothing, man. He creating jobs for you. If we get 1,000 Mexicans away from him, There's 1,000 people can go to work if they want to. See, they billing off of us not wanting to work because they getting you a distraction. Okay, we're gonna give you a calm check. We're gonna give you some food. We're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you that. That's to distract you from not seeing the big picture. Now, if you give me a $2,500 check, I'm cool, cause I need $2,500 right now.
Right.
But your mortgage 18. Your car note another 4 or 5.
25 gone.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
you gotta pay the
Real quick.
Insurance.
And guess
It's
what?
like, oh, I don't
you
have the
said,
money for
You
food.
going for the right now
Right.
instead of the 20 years. See, Donald Trump going for the 20 years from now.
Right. He's thinking ownership.
You
That's
understand?
why you
People
gotta
don't believe that,
even
but
think
I
about
believe
like
that.
There you go.
they gave the regular schmegglers the
There you
$2,500,
go.
but the corporations, the business, the
There you go.
LLCs, and all these different
Yeah.
things, $50,000.
There you
Right.
go.
Like
So why
you
not
have to
start your own
be in
business?
that ownership mindset because
Exactly.
we're a corporation in their eyes anyway from the birth certificate.
There you go.
Period.
Like, let's talk about it.
Who you
Let's
think
talk about
Donald
it.
Trump is? You think he's a president or a businessman?
He's a businessman.
There you go. So don't look at him to be a president. He's a businessman. You understand what I'm saying? He's gonna teach you business. He's an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
He teaching you how to coordinate business for yourself.
Right.
The man gave everybody in the United States a check when our government was telling us we owed everybody, we broke.
You need to give us one more.
He showed you that your government, this man, he's being hated because he's showing you that your government has been fooling you all
All
your
this
life.
time.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
That
so
is true.
You better jump your ass on that ship
But the truth
You
is
understand?
definitely getting exposed.
and let the chips fall they make.
Right.
I'm with it. Ain't scared, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? A man who can tell his own government, if y'all don't give me the money to do what I want to do, I'm going to use my own money to do it. How can you be mad at it? How can you be mad at it? This man took a whole wall. This man built a whole wall to separate us from the Mexican border to keep the drugs out. And everybody hated it. Everybody wanted. The government said we ain't doing it. We ain't gonna allow you to do this. Okay, I'll do it with my own money and built it. Okay. Okay. You know how much money he made back off of building it though? Cause he's a businessman. You know how many drugs might have got cut off at that time?
What's that?
Shit, a lot. So
21
somebody say,
salary
hey man,
boys,
can we
a
give
lot.
you X amount of dollars to do that? Here's a president that did something no other president in history has done.
Yeah.
He tripled the deficit. Tripled it. The next president came in and put us back in debt, they say. How you lose 3 times the money you had and go back to owing everybody? Make it make sense. Now he is back again with a 2025, what that the 2025 plan he came back with.
I can't remember what
And
the
he
name of that
executed.
plan they saying he did.
You know, everybody got stuck in the distraction. Get what the distraction was? Somebody said he trying to make us a dictatorship. How
Yeah.
can you make the United States a dictatorship and we free? How? So guess what
Because
he
the
did?
people don't know who they are.
Thank you. He flipped the game though.
Yeah.
He said, ain't trying, he telling himself we ain't gonna make it a dictatorship to where one man run the country. He making it a dictatorship to where one man ain't gonna run the country, we gonna have the dictatorship laws. That's the best move in America. You can get some free insurance. You can get some free money to build with. You can get some money to do this with. You can put yourself in a position to get a loan now when you couldn't go in the bank and get now. But you sitting over here looking at Jose, you looking at Wonton, you looking at Seattle from France, all of them sitting right next to you at this, and they saying, well, sign right here, and you know you can get your money within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And here you is, a United States native,
Right.
and they tell you, your credit got to be a self-made.
Yeah.
Right,
For you to
right.
get $2,000 on the loan. Shit.
$2,000. Right, right, right.
It's crazy. Hey, we get caught up in the distraction.
That's so true.
That's what we got to stop doing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop getting caught up in the
And that
distraction.
is something
and
he's
stay
working
the
on too,
main
to
course.
eliminate credit scores.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes.
this man said we're gonna kill education and put this in place of education. Everybody mad. But you wake up every day listening to people saying, well, we finna merge 7 schools and close 12. What he doing, they ain't doing. He just making it known to you. Instead of you waking up and somebody saying, well, your child gotta be bused to Florida, cause we finna close all the surrounding schools in your neighborhood. What you gonna do with them when you close them? People ain't thinking about that picture. What we gonna do with 12 schools closed? You know, and they say, well, it's because head count went down.
It's because it's gentrification. They
Yeah.
gentrified
Thank
the
you.
people out.
Then
You can't afford it.
They knocked
Yeah.
the school down and put apartments right there. And
Yeah.
said these apartments gonna be 2,500.
Look,
Exactly,
luxury
exactly.
apartment, no land, no
minimum wage
nothing.
still $7.25.
Federal,
Ma-
federal. In the state,
Come on, man.
yeah, state is like $5.15.
Who? How you gonna afford it?
The same,
Right,
the,
right. How
the
can
same,
you afford it?
The dollar back in the day is the same dollar today.
Thank you. The money ain't changed.
The
now.
money ain't changed.
The money ain't changed. It's still green. Some of them got blue strips on them now, but it's still the money. Come on, man.
Georgia has not updated any of their state programs like minimum wage, and state is $5.15. Unemployment weekly is $3.65.
Gee.
Come on,
The
man.
max disability is $1,800 a month. I mean,
How you gonna live off of that?
it's just like, what are they doing with they haven't done anything to the state programs.
And they
But
got-
federal
They
is seven.
I-
Federal is 7.
That's why I say
Gotta be
you
pocketing it.
protest the wrong things.
Yeah, we do.
But they got $1 billion school budgets, and the kids
And
They
then,
got the money
have a
in the
literacy.
budget.
and we
They
have
have
our,
the money.
we have,
Yeah, they
we
have
have our
money in the budget.
internet, person, Peter True Love again. Peter saying the exercising of one's mind, education, maximizing the ability, natural talent, system provides indoctrination and miseducation. That's true, Peter. And he said we should listen to Eric Benet's song, Who's Gonna
Who's
Save
gonna
Us?
save us? Nobody talk about it.
And he said the Attorney General can't ignore crimes committed by state-appointed actors, minimize their prosecution, focus on John, Jane Doe, everyday ones, throw the full extent of the law, plus some on them. But you know, that doesn't happen, because I haven't heard Brian Kemp say anything in opposition of Fonnie Willis, and the president has, you know, exposed
Thank you.
a lot of that. So, yeah,
Because
the
they in the meeting, what they gonna say?
that polyclit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I call
Mhm.
it. That's my word. That's my
Okay.
word. That polyclit, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we,
it.
man, but until we stop going for the distraction,
Yeah.
we're gonna always stay unrooted to where we can't grow.
That's true.
Cause the distraction is put there for that purpose. To keep you from thinking about, as Dad say, long term.
Right,
Understand?
right, right.
Everybody want it right now. You wanna become rich overnight.
Right.
Now, if you got $1 million worth of pennies, you got $1 million worth of nickels, you got $1 million worth of dimes, you got $1 million worth of quarter, and I got $1 million worth of Kenny at 50 cents. What's the difference? Still $1 million.
Right.
So what's the difference?
One might take you longer to count.
Right, yeah, right.
There you go. I say that all the time.
Right, right.
They're gonna take each and everybody a longer time to get it, but it's
Longer
still
time
$1
to
million.
get it.
Correct.
And Georgia has turned into a subscriber state. Like Wall Street owns like Paulding County, 70% of what. So it's like they don't want us to own anything. They want us to be subscribers to these third-party companies.
Correct.
everything a subscription.
Because we're not
Right.
asking the right questions anymore. We're not asking what is the policy, procedure, and protocol. What is the actual procedure of everything that you're just telling me.
Right.
That
To
like
find that out, you gotta go to the right meetings. They have meetings on it all the time.
And so speaking of telling us things, let's talk about your business, the building, the bridge, and we're gonna show her barcode, guys, to the camera. You guys to screenshot this barcode. Yup, there it is.
yes.
Screen code it and get to my
Yes,
page.
so the Building Bridge initiative is what we do with our advocacy group, where we are basically, like I said, just building the gap between public policy and community outreach, because it's a lot of things we don't know where to go, we don't know what to do, and so what this will allow us to do, because the long-term goal for We the People is to actually have a facility for people instead of a leasing office. This is a resource center. And so instead, what you have to do, people who who are coming home and who are incarcerated and who are able to necessarily want to get back into society, this will be a place where they are able to learn different resources that are available, get connected to more advocacy, get connected even to mental health professionals and even law enforcement, judges, public officials who are partnered with us, who believe in the same vision that we're talking about, and who is not against the legacy, ownership, and community aspect of life. So Building Bridges is really an initiative that We the People Advocate Outreach is partnering up with Al Bartel to really bring the public voice out.
Oh, good. So this, again, here we go. This is another positive thing, guys, that you can partake in, and another opportunity to join some like-minded individuals and to, what you say, two minds, put one together, put two together. Hey.
Great minds think alike.
Okay, great minds think alike. Let's do it.
Yes.
So we're gonna wrap up, guys.
Yeah.
We've
Thanks,
had
Jeff,
a great
for having us.
conversation, and we would love to continue it any other Friday. You guys are welcome to come back.
Oh yeah,
Join
you
us.
about to see us about until November.
Hey, we can do this every weekend. Let's do it.
Yes, and I would love to, even bring Al as well.
Yeah, he wanted to come.
Yes, because and he does send his love. We are actually a part of a transformational community where we talk about different things of how to handle situations that has happened to us. So he's doing that, and
Next Friday, Al, come through, Al.
Yes, Al will be here, and we will definitely.
That's my birthday weekend, so
Oh, what are you
I'm a
doing?
Leo, so
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
It's gonna be outside.
Hey, we should be outside too after the show. Now we should go outside.
Right, I love
I'll be
that.
popping bottles. So.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm with you.
My friends is getting married.
Gonna bring the show to an end, and
All right.
sometimes we end our show with a song.
Okay.
All right, and we're gonna end the show tonight with a song, and this song is gonna be related to the things that we discussed, because everybody who's part of the politics and we're doing all this wrong, processing, and making people, forcing people to take pleas, this, that, and the other. I just hope that sometime you go home, right, and when you go through things during the day that wasn't, good for you or wasn't successful for you or whatnot, ask yourself those questions. Go and look at yourself, like I said earlier, look at yourself in the mirror and say, would I like to be like this? Would I like to have to live like this? And we're going to end the show. This is Big Jeff
It's Shanita.
coming to you live from No Days
Trey.
Off Production with special guest Miss Shanae.
Daryl Fletcher.
You didn't say your name.
All right, and
Miss Trey in the house.
Miss Trey in the house. All right, and we're gonna end the show with this Big Jeff and Shanita coming to you live from No Days Off Production with the #1 show in the land.
Nothing but the truth.
And we out.